Hi all, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we'll learn what are vectors and variables in R. Now in R there are 6 different types of data types: integer, numeric, logical, character, complex and raw. Also we'll see how hidden variables are used and how to access these variables in R. We'll also learn about different functions that are used for documentation and for inference of these variables. So let's get started. So now we'll first start to create some different types of variables, and I'll give you an introduction how different variables are created and initialized. So in the last video we saw just a simple example how variable creation is done. Now in this video we'll get deep dive into different types of data types that are available. So first I have something like this. So that means value 10 is assigned to variable x. So now if I just go here, I can see the different types of values. So now this has just one value, that is x has got 10. Now let's understand or do a bit more research into this thing. Now in R there is a method called as class. Now if I pass class to x, and you can see here it is numeric. So now numeric is one data type. So if you want to declare any variables, or if you declare some variable like as a simple number, like just a whole number, then that is considered as numeric. Now what if you want to create an integer variable? So say I have like this, and if I write 20, but it's again numeric, right? So if I just type class of a, it's numeric. So instead what you want to do is you have to write something like this. Now if I again go here and type class of a, you can see it is integer. So you might have also noticed that I first executed this as just 20, then I wrote a L at the end. Now L stands for integer, so it overrides the data type. So that is one peculiar property of R. So now you can see there are two variables created here. So you can also write something like you create flag variables, and you can write as true, and if you check the class of this, that is flag, so you can see it is logical. Now that is also created here. So next we'll move on to what is character. So character is simple. So if you just write like this, and if I write class of name, you can see it is character. Then there is one more data type in R, that is called as complex. So in your high school mathematics you might have learned about complex numbers, real part, imaginary part. So that same concept you can execute in R, but we hardly use that thing in R. We'll hardly find any use case where we'll use those data type, but just for your information, that is also possible. So something like if I write complex, or if I write variable, and if I write 2 plus 3i, so that's how we write, right? So this is the imaginary part and this is the real part. So execute this, and if I write class of var, again see it is complex. Then there is one more, that is the raw, which I discussed. So that is a derived data type. So say for example if I want to convert this, so if I write it as like this, so you usually know how we create variables and what are the naming conventions. I'm not going deep into that. So you can write char to raw. So now if I just look into here, and if I put a question mark here, just a simple, so what it gives me is a documentation. So as you can see here, so raw conversion, so it's a base. So in R there is a native called as base, where you have certain built-in data types and things like that, from where you can automatically convert this without the help of some external libraries or packages. So that's where this thing is used. So you can see convert to or from bit packed or raw vectors. So that's how this is used. And let's see what is the output of this. So in this we want to pass name, which we have already created. So if I create or put name raw, you can see it is 52. Now that's not what we have put here. So this is a plain integer, a plain string, that is R. So it converted that R with codes, everything, into an internal representation that is a raw format. So if you want to check what exactly is this 52, you can see it is a raw data type. So that's what this is thing. Now let's understand how we can create hidden variables. So say something like j, and we assign a value as 40. You can see j is 40. But if you just look here in this list of variables that is created, you cannot see .j. Now that is because all these variables above that we have created is a global variable in R. Now when you precede any variable with a dot or a period operator, that means it's a hidden variable. So hidden variables are created but you cannot see it. So that is the peculiar property of this hidden variables. So those are secret to your system. Now how you can print this, just type .j in the console. So you can see as value as 40. Similarly, you can write something like O, or let's be secret you can see, but the variables are not created here. So it is as simple as that. So see, you can execute these methods like to check the data type, but the thing is you cannot see on this console. So just be careful whenever you create any variables, you have to put dot, or like if you want to make it hidden, like some package execution. So we'll see like down the line in different programs and in different exercises how and where these hidden variables are used. Mostly we use with the global variables that are non-hidden, but in some cases where we want to pass some environment variables like some secret key or some cryptographic key or some password information, something like that, anonymized data, there we majorly use this hidden variables. Now there is a method called as ls. So what ls gives, so if you want to know what that variable stands for or what that method stands for, just type question mark and ls, and so that gives you basic documentation of what thing you are writing. So you will not be confused why I am writing this. So ls is a base, native base method which gives you the list of different objects that are there. So whatever variables have been created so far, you can see those are being listed here. So you can see a, you can see flag, name, name raw, where, and so on. So that's it. So one peculiar property of this base variable is like you can generate plots also. So there is one inbuilt function that is plot, and you can write something like CO2. So you can see that if I zoom this, you can see that there is a CO2 plot that is generated here. So this is an upward trend that is going on. So now this comes from an inbuilt data set which is already pre-processed for this education purpose or for documentation purpose. So Now here you can see the CO2 values on the y-axis, and on the x-axis you have the time. So it's an upward trend that is going on from 1960 to 1990, or even beyond that, maybe 2000. So we'll do this kind of analysis and all stuffs in the uh, later videos down the line, when we learn about different libraries and functionalities there. So well, that is all about this variables and vectors in R. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So I hope you learned about what are variables and vectors in R and how you can create them. If you want to learn more about R, please do consider subscribing my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video.